Hello everyone, I'm AT Storm Track meteorologist Austin Haskins. Despite the fact we had a little more cloud cover around and the winds gradually picked up as the day went on, our Tuesday overall wasn't too bad as highs were in the 40s and 50s once again. But our active weather pattern has returned and it's going to stay that way here for the next couple of days. Rain and snow chances and breezy conditions expected for our Wednesday. We're then tracking the next system for Thursday night into Friday. A lot of questions remain on that, and we'll talk about that here as we go along here in this video. And then over the weekend, we are looking at colder and blustery conditions returning to the area. So it's not going to be as nice as it was last weekend, though. So if you were hoping for some of the warmer weather to return, we are going to have to at least wait for the time being. So big picture this morning, our area of low pressure right now is centered right around the triple point, or the intersection, if you will, of where South Dakota, North Dakota, and Minnesota meet near Sisseton, South Dakota. That's about where it's located this morning. Our next area of low pressure for tomorrow night to Friday is out by Salt Lake City. We're in that dry slot right now as we had some rain around overnight. We even had some thunderstorms south and east of the Chippewa Valley in western Wisconsin. But we are not completely done with this system yet. This system is going to slowly meander through central Minnesota today, and it will start to what's called fill in. So we're going to actually see the precip chances return, as we should see some redevelopment on the southern edge of this low pressure. So that's something that's kind of a little bit new to the forecast today, as the confidence on that has come up just a little bit. Now, of course, during the afternoon evening hours, we had some gusty winds in Eau Claire. Now, during the daytime hours, in the late morning and early afternoon, it was in the low to mid 20s, but it got kind of windy as we got into the mid to late evening hours, and then it kind of tapered off a little bit into Wednesday morning as the dry slot moved in. The peak wind gust here over the last 24 hours in Eau Claire was around 10 p.m. last night at 40 miles an hour. Other parts of western Wisconsin, the peak wind gust was anywhere from about 30 to 40 miles per hour. They've had wind gusts up near Duluth and up the North Shore of over 60 miles per hour with this system. So conditions are a lot worse up to the north. Now, as far as the precip chances go for this afternoon, there are still questions on exactly how this all plays out. So I'm going to show you the graph in the HRRR model here to give you an idea. The graph model is actually showing this becoming all snow by the lunchtime hour and continuing through the afternoon and evening hours before slowly winding down and lifting to the north overnight. This is suggesting temperatures are going to drop quickly into the 30s, and we will be dealing with the snow at that point. And then by tomorrow morning, it is mostly over with. Now, the HRRR model is a little bit different. It does at least show some light showers of rain around this morning, despite the dry slot moving through. Again, we'd be very isolated in nature, but then we see the precip fill in, initially starting as rain and then changing over to that wet, slushy snow as the temperatures come down into mostly the mid to upper 30s and eventually the low to mid 30s. And exactly how much it fills in on the southern edge of this system does remain to be seen. Is it going to be pretty widespread like this, or are we going to have more of a narrower band develop? And also, will it be farther south or will it be farther to the north? There's still some questions on how that's all going to play out. So this forecast this afternoon is still a bit fluid, but at least the confidence is a little bit higher than yesterday that we will at least see some precip with this system, and then things kind of wind down as we head into the overnight hours. So that's our highest coverage of precip is today and into this evening. And then we'll talk about this in a few minutes, but Thursday night into Friday is our next system that looks to bring some snow to at least somewhere either in western Wisconsin or across the state. And then after that, we are dry at least a little bit through the weekend. So looking at the different models, and this is for Eau Claire, so it will vary a little bit in other locations, but you could see the models are at least in pretty good agreement, showing about 1 to 2 inches here for Eau Claire. And I'm going slightly lower than that with my forecast. I'm going generally a trace to an inch for most areas, but higher end totals, if we see a localized band of snow set up, or if we see those temperatures cool a little bit quicker and it goes from rain quickly over to snow, we could have a few spots that reach that higher end total of maybe 2.5 to 3 inches. Low end totals expected would be 0, and likely that would actually be across areas south of Highway 10 where they should stay a little bit warmer today. Not completely 0 for seeing snow, but the lower totals will likely favor farther to the south, or those that don't see snow at all. Now let's jump ahead to the next system. So this is a look at the graph model again. So we started at 6 p.m. and you can see here as we go towards midnight and going into the overnight hours, the snow, it's a pretty narrow band. You can kind of see that there, but it's staying east of Highway 53. So the 53 corridor and areas west likely won't see much of anything at all, with some accumulating snow over to the east. Here's the European model. This is a bit of a different look at it. And you can see this one is a bit further to the west and has most of western Wisconsin seeing snow other than maybe Osceola and parts of Polk County. And then this actually sticks around a little bit longer into the afternoon and evening hours on our Friday. Even here, maybe continuing to the north and east into Friday night. So there's still a lot of questions with that system in regards to the track and, of course, the strength of the system. So something that we're going to be monitoring. But the way things are looking, this system does not look like it's going to be a really high snow total event, because also considering the fact that temperatures will be warm enough to where this is going to be a wetter type snow. So we'll continue to monitor that part of the forecast closely as well. So to recap for today, 45 degrees, slight chance of rain this morning. Our high of 45 will be this morning, and then we're going to drop into the afternoon with those rain and snow showers around. And once again, too, it will be a bit breezy. So be on the lookout for some travel issues later this afternoon and into this evening. And then tonight we'll drop back to 28 degrees with those snow showers around this evening. And then for Thursday, mostly cloudy, slight chance of an afternoon rain or snow shower with a high of 39. We're down to 31 on Friday, 20s over the weekend, and potentially even some lows in the single digits a couple of the nights there. But then by the middle of next week, we do at least bounce back to slightly above average temperatures with another small chance for some mixed precipitation.